Hello, fabulous people. This is the Together podcast, and this is the place where Cherise and I come together to help you get it together for your everyday business life. So we hope you enjoy.
Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Happy July 2nd. So so let's talk. We are officially in Q3. All right, so let's talk about it. Say what?
I said, where did this come from? How are we in
Q3?
Q3.
Yeah, we on that's it. We are officially coming down the mountain now to the end of the year. And if any of you guys do what I do and take those last 2 weeks of December off, and that week in November, that means we have limited time. That means Q3, we got to get it. So, so Cherise going to talk about a specific topic today, which I can't wait for her to talk about. But with the realization that it is Q3, I want to remind you guys of some basic things. If you have not sat down and looked at your yearly goals, see where you are, see what needs to be done, see what needs to, what progress you're making, what progress you're not making, what adjustments do you need to make, where you falling short, where do you need to celebrate yourself because you hit the mark. And so that is so important to keeping your business on track. Keeping your business on track is those quarterly reviews. And I actually think it should be quarterly reviews and a monthly review, but definitely a quarterly review. And those of you guys who live by the 12-week work year, then you're probably already doing this. So this is just more information for you. But get yourself set up again for that last quarter, for the last 2 quarters of the year, but definitely a third quarter so we can come out and hit it running. So, yay. Okay. That's my 2 cents. All right.
All right.
How are you? What's going on with your 5 a.m. club? And then jump into the topic for today.
Okay. So everything is going good. 5 a.m. club is really cool. Going as expected, just without expectation. Just flowing like you should, if that makes sense.
Yes.
One of my goals is just let go of expectation in a lot of areas and let it flow as it should. Take the pressure off, I specifically want to talk about the topic of asking for help this morning and why it has been so important for me to ask for help and why I encourage you to ask for help.
Yes.
And everyone, on here, open up your mind, your heart, and your soul and ask for some help.
Right.
I have been through, and that we go back to pride. I think not asking for help is a pride thing. I think not asking for help, Natalie, goes back to some imposter syndrome. I think a lot of people, so I ask you, why do you think a lot of people don't ask for help?
What's coming up for me is it's a skill. It's a skill. And a lot of people haven't been taught that skill for whatever reason. And so, because I think, especially when you get to our level where you asking for help on big things, it's not just, hey, let me have $5. It's break how did you run that program? Break that down for me.
Right.
And so I think if we thought about it as a skill and as a necessary skill for business that we have to learn, I think then we would take it on as something different. But I think, imposter syndrome comes in there a little bit.
Yeah.
And then just this idea that it seems like everybody else knows, so I should know.
Yeah.
And then I think you have to look at yourself even more, just kind of who you are, who you've been in life. And so in high school, so college is where I realized I need to ask for help. In high school, I was kind of a star student and it came really easy to me. and I did an exchange program, and everybody in the county, small county, everybody in the county, it felt like everybody in the county knew me. I could get away with murder. Like I was just wonderful, and accolades, and I was in the paper and like all these things. When I got to college, oh, that was a whole different beast. I was small fish in a huge ocean. And so I flunked out of University of Georgia. And one of the last major conversations I remember is with my teacher, one of my English teachers, because that's what was really getting me English. And she looked at me and she said, Natalie, you didn't ask for help. You did not. I saw you struggling and you never asked for help. Wow. And I was like, just so struck by that. And so I did flunk out of college, which looking hindsight 2020 was probably one of the best things that ever happened to me. It started me on my self-improvement, self-help journey. My aunt got me into this ministry called Overcomers, where I just dealt with so much of, being the oldest and generational, I don't want to say generational curses, but generational ideas that you don't realize could be hindering you, and they could be helping you, but figuring all of that out. And so I just remember then really kind of learning how to ask for help, and that it's definitely a skill to go. It's a skill. So I think you need to, in business, sit down and figure out, okay, exactly what part of this do I need help on? Then who's the best person for me to ask for help from, and how do I want them to give me the help? And so if you start, because if you just tell people I need help, in general, people are going to help you the best way they can help you. And so what comes easy to them. And so you may need, okay, let's just say you say, hey, I need help. Okay. My first thought might be, okay, let me cook her a meal and run it by the house. She said she need help. All right. But if you're like, hey, Natalie, I need help with my schedule. So on Tuesdays, can you call me at 9 a.m. in the morning? Oh, I can do that. But I never would have thought about that's the kind of help you need. That's not how I operate. And so learning how to ask for help is a skill, and you need to purpose to practice it. And I feel like one of the programs I was in, because I've been in so many health programs, y'all. Okay, I know. I feel like we had to, for 30 days, ask for help or ask for something or ask for something, because it was about noticing how willing people were to help you. And so that might need to be a challenge that we do. Great time. You just got to ask for something. And it could just be like, hey, would you please let me go in front of you in line? Because I got
especially with strangers.
Especially with strangers. So you can build that skill. I really wish I could remember what program that was in. But I do remember it was a thing where we just, at 30 days, we just had to ask. You had to ask for something every day, and notice how willing people were to help you, to accommodate you, to give to you. Oh, of course. And so when you get that in your spirit, and okay, people are here to help me, that I've been given a vision, a goal, a dream, whatever, that's so big that I can't do it without help. And it's not, I don't know anybody who can get, and so, I'm talking a lot, so I'm gonna give you the floor again, but let me leave y'all with this. I think it's the African proverb: if you want to go fast, go by yourself. If you want to go far, go with others. And if we're gonna go far with others, we gonna have to gonna. My mama was so fuss at me. English teacher out there is probably like, but you will need to learn how to ask for help. Definitely. Okay, I'm giving you the floor back.
Well, no, you said some really impactful things. So going back to why people don't ask for help. I think you made a great point in people not knowing what to ask for, because they have not really truly defined
what they
where
need.
they need help specifically because they are in desperation. And when you are in desperation, you're so focused on that thing that you need. Let's say money. Let's just stick with money.
Money's a good one.
So if you need money, all you can focus on and think about is, what if it doesn't happen? What if it doesn't happen? If it doesn't happen, blah, blah, blah is going to happen. And I'm going to be, out, whatever, you still won't be paid, whatever. But what people have to understand is, first of all, why am I, and not to beat yourself up, but why am I in this situation? Because most of all, this needs to be your last time in this situation. Period. Okay. If this is a situation where you keep coming back to, because a lot of times it's a space that you keep revisiting, right? Like what we talked about last week, like, why am I revisiting this space?
Yes.
Right? So,
girl, that was so good. Oh my God, that was so good.
Love you. So, why am I revisiting this space? And then let's clarify what I need. What I really truly need, because sometimes your desperation will have you in a cloudy space of what you really need, right? And who can I communicate with that will help walk me through this situation? And of course, a lot of times, you want to be discreet. It needs to be in private. You don't need more attention from the outside on the situation. So, who are my people? Who is my person? And how will this person respond to me? Right?
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty much that person, and I tell people, like, I'm gonna help you problem solve, because when you come to me and you say, hey, I'm going straight into problem solve mode, because you have to be careful about how you help people, and how are you able to help them clearly as well, because sometimes you don't have clearly defined how you can help them, and you'll end up enabling a person, right? So most of all, how can I equip you to make sure you're not in this position again? But emergency state, how can I help a person feel empowered instead of worse when they come to me? First of all, I need you to understand you can trust me. Okay. And thank you for trusting me, with this. But a lot of people, I know they look at me crazy because I'm going straight into spirit mode. We got to calm the spirit.
Oh, girl.
I need you to calm down. I need you to calm so we can think. And guess what? Now you got me. Now you got a piece of your tribe, and now we can think together, and we can really make this thing happen. So immediately I need you to breathe. I need you to understand there is an answer. There is a solution. So right now we're not focused on why are you here. Okay. Right. All right. We touch that, and then we move away from that, because now we got to get this solved. Yes. But you understand why I say you have to have your person. And I tell a lot of people, I got this thing where, a lot of my friends, they want to go off on somebody and, cut somebody out. I'm like, just send it to me. Type it up or voice it to me and get it out. Because sometimes you need to do the exercise, right? Do the execution of it and get it out of you. The other person doesn't need to be the person on the receiving end. So with that being said, find that person that that you can problem solve with and will help you think straight. Okay.
Definitely. So let me stop you right there, because you just said some excellent points, and I want to break that down even further, because it just made me. And matter of fact, I might need to do a whole new blog post or something on this. You need to know who your go-to people are in your life. And if you don't know who those people are, I'm gonna challenge you that over this next month, you write down the list. I want you to write down, my spiritual advisors are these 3 people. My financial advisors are these 3 people. My business advisors are these 3 people. And these are 3 people that they just catch all. This is the person, these 3 people who gonna give it to me straight every time, who know me, are gonna tell me to stop mine and get somewhere and sit down. Like, and you need to know who those people are, and I'm gonna say you need to have them written down.
Yeah, I agree.
So that when you are feeling desperate, you can say, okay, wait a minute. I have a board of directors. I have all of these people in my life who are supporting me, who I can go to and call at any point in time, who I can send a text message to right now. I can send out an SOS, and they're going to do what they need to do to help me. And so you need to have those people. And if you don't have those people, I want you to have at least one in every area.
Yeah.
Then I think you need a purpose for the rest of the year to figure out how to get these people in your life. Because you need it. And you got to have that one person who's going to tell you, you're doing too much. Stop, sit down, be still. You're doing too much. You
said spiritual advisor, financial advisor, and
business advisor, and then like a catch-all. Like you would be my catch-all.
The truth advisor.
The truth advisor. Yes, the truth advisor. The truth advisor. So I really want you guys to get that done and down, and to know, okay, these are the people. So when I hit a wall, when I'm feeling desperate, I talk to my people first.
Yeah.
Like I know I get into, like you said, a problem solving mode.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, I know who to call, who can switch me into a problem solving mode.
Absolutely.
Who can just say a couple of words and I'll be like, oh, okay, let me step out of my feelings and emotions, get into my thinking brain and do that. So, okay. The second thing I wanted to say, and this is going back to a couple of weeks ago when we was talking about making your offering.
Yeah.
But those of us who are service providers specifically, we need to identify what are the things that we're willing to do in our business to help, and what are the things that we need to do in our business that is our business offering. Because as service providers, as bleeding hearts, some of us are, me included, we can get caught up helping people because we love to help people, right? We love to help people. And so we can get caught up in helping people, not making our offering and not making money. And making sure that you have differentiated, these are the things that I'm definitely willing to do to help, and how I'm willing to serve. And I don't mind not getting paid for this stuff. This is the stuff that I really want to do to help. But this is the stuff that I charge for. These are the things that I've got to get paid for.
Yeah.
And so making sure you have that, so that when people ask you for help, you're able to do it with, I don't want to say a clear conscience, but you're able to do it in a clean way that's going to keep your spirit feeling good about the situation. So, okay, that's just what I've gotten from you. So keep going so I can pull some other nuggets out of you.
Yes, that's so good. I'm going to run over to Facebook real quick. Tiana saying, so obviously pride gets in the way of asking for help, and also makes things in life harder for the person needing help. Previous asking for help isn't if it wasn't received properly or used against them later on. So that is a very big reason why a lot of people don't ask.
Okay.
Concerned about judgment and concerned about people using it against you.
I'm going to say we're going to have to up-level your friends. I'm so sorry, baby. I'm so sorry to give it to you raw. Like, we got to up-level the people you hanging with. Because if they're using it against you, you got to up-level that. It's not going to happen. There was a story, and I don't know what book I got it out of, but the Starbucks guy, I can't remember his name right now. God, what is his name? The owner of Starbucks, the founder of Starbucks, was running into problems with something with the coffee supply chain, another company or something. He was running into problems. And so he had to ask for help, and he wound up asking for help from Bill Gates' father. And he needed help to get Starbucks going. And so, and then of course they wind up building probably a wonderful multi-million-dollar friendship.
Yeah, absolutely.
But because Bill Gates' father was a lawyer, and he was just able to kind of get on the phone and call some people and tell the other person basically a cease and desist. But he needed help. And so I don't think we're going to make it out here in business without being able to ask for help.
Yeah.
You gotta,
no
it's
way.
like, I need you guys to understand that this is a
Yeah,
business skill, a
yeah,
business skill that you've got to learn, hone,
yeah,
practice, even when
yeah,
you don't need help. Let's just practice it. Let's just keep this muscle of asking for help. And so,
yeah,
and then I think that another thing is asking for help puts you on, it allows you to be both a giver and receiver. And
yeah,
so just to be able to kind of keep that circle going,
yeah.
people helping you and you helping people helping you and you helping people. So, okay. All right. What else?
So a couple of things I want to talk about my recent ask for help, but I do want to speak to asking. Okay, it's
Mm-hmm.
not always asking for help either.
Mm-hmm.
There's the ask as in the offer. So hey, I got this product that's really going to change your life, or this service is going to change your life.
Ooh, say that. Mm-hmm.
You might want to come over here and get it. Like
Yeah.
that's the ask. But a lot of people, and so that's us speaking to the offer, like, okay, so when it comes to business,
Mm-hmm.
and that is our conversation pretty much, is business. And, it always ends up being business, because a lot of times what you need help with, if it's financial, is business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily in your business, but you might need help with a debt or something
Yep.
like that, right?
Yep.
So that turns to business,
Mm-hmm.
because somewhere there was some money missing and you need some help.
Yep.
Okay, now, so that goes back to you talking about, knowing what to offer for free or complimentary, which is a constant ongoing, which is keeping that engagement,
Mm-hmm.
even personally, if you stay in contact with people, if you keep, stay ahead of the game with people, and just connecting with them and seeing how they are, what they're doing, the ask is easier, whether it's personal or business.
You're right. You're
So,
right. You're right.
so you get desperate, we get desperate, and then you call people out of the blue and you need something, but the communication hasn't been there. That's why it will behoove you
Mm.
to stay in contact with your clients and your friends.
Girl,
You
I think
never
you need
know
to
what you
repeat that
might need.
again, that one
Yeah.
line. What was
But
it?
it's
It
across
will
the board.
behoove you to stay in contact with everybody.
It covers everything, right? It covers
Mhm.
everything. But of course you have those friends and loved ones that you don't, if they're gonna always be there for you if you need them. But I'm just saying, in business, if you stay in contact with your people, you're always ahead of the game when you're
Mhm.
offering something, or you got something amazing. You let them know first. Hey, I'm letting you know first, my VIP, my people, that I want to know first before I let the public know. And
Yeah.
that's just communication. That's just connection. That's making sure
Yeah.
that you are in front of everyone. So then you might not find yourself in a financial situation, right? Because the money is flowing because you stayed in contact with your clients, and they keep
Mhm.
signing up over and over again. And especially if you're making the right offerings, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So business and personal, if you're having a party or a get together and you want people to show up and you want to see certain faces, well, if you've stayed in contact with them,
Right.
business and personal, they will probably show up in support because you have stayed in contact with them. But when
Mhm.
you go in a shell
Yeah.
and go within too much because you're depressed or down and out, feeling lack, feeling unworthiness, imposter syndrome,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
You're not going to be consistent showing up.
Yeah.
So then it's that flow just isn't there like
Yeah.
it could be.
No, you're right. You're right. You're right. So I think
So it's
that's an
across the board.
excellent point.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent point. Speak specifically, in business, because I've been off on my social media lately. But
Mm-hmm.
are you showing up on social media? Are you
Yeah.
sending out the emails consistently?
Mm-hmm.
Are you doing your lives consistently? Like, how are you showing up? And all of this what I want to say, like, oils the machine for you to be able to ask for help when you need to ask for help.
It does. It does.
Or to
It
put
really
out an
does.
offering, to make any ask when you need to ask.
Yeah. And how, like, just knowing your people. I would even say, okay, so if you've been in business for quite a while, you should know a cycle of your people. When your people are going to go into vacation mode or go into, okay, the kids are out of school or the kids are graduated. If the kids have graduated and left the nest, you want to check on your people because they might need a different type of therapy than they've ever needed before. It might be a type of grief therapy. Maybe they lost a loved one and maybe the children are out of the home now or through a divorce. Like that is a good reason to be offering sessions, personal sessions or classes or workshops in grief.
Yeah.
It's a constant thing. If you stay, top of mind in that grief space, they'll say, "Oh, wow, I didn't realize I needed this." And they stay constant. Same thing with, everybody needing a makeover constantly needing a reinvention. So I'm like, hey, what's going on? How you looking? How you feeling? I see you done lost about 85 pounds over there. You need a new wardrobe.
Right.
I see you wearing that same old hairstyle you've been wearing for about 10 years now. It's time for a new look. You need some color. You need, like, we're out of the pandemic. The pandemic is no longer here. You can come outside now. You might want a new look. Oh, you can date. You're not married anymore, right? You can date.
Right. All of these things. So yeah.
So
I would go back to the offerings, but the business side of keeping in contact. What are your keep in contact strategies? And are you implementing them? And when was the last time you overhauled your keep in contact strategies? And are they still flowing? Like I got an email list out there that I was building the email list. And I don't know where they are. I don't know if they're building, they're not building or whatnot. So as we're having this conversation, it's reminding me I need to check all my keep in contact strategies and making sure it's still working and operating and flowing and, and didn't get cut off or.
That's what I'm doing right now. That's what I'm doing. That's what I had to stop and ask for help in that space. I realized I was talking to a specific group and wasn't talking to others. And, I had to go back and clean my email list. I had to, upgrading my CRM, and just making sure I communicate with my community because I have done a horrible job. I'm here to admit it's Transparent Tuesday. I've been doing a really bad job at, keeping in contact with the entire community. One compliment I will get though is that I do stay in contact with people, but I haven't been doing it as a total community. So my accountability and my big ask was two things. I think we talked about numbers last week. Numbers and communication. So my communication was, hey, I need to make sure that I got the CRM in place. I'm waiting. I got this CRM in place and that I am sending out this newsletter and these emails on a regular. People still open up their emails. Even like I'm a great example of I'll watch your emails come in and then one day I'll read all your emails. After 3 months. And then that's when they connect for me.
And I think for me, some people I might not ever read their emails, but on that day when I need what they've been offering, then I'm going to go back and check my folders for the emails, see if they still out there doing. And so that's usually what I do because I don't want to have to be like I am now. What was that name? Who was that person? I know somebody did so-and-so and so-and-so. I want to be able to go and look at my email and find it. In those 15,000 emails, I would have been able to see and find it and then be able to connect you from there. So So for a lot of people, I know they're open. Nobody opens my emails. The right person is going to open your emails when they're ready. Remember, they got to know you, trust you, like you, know you, and trust you.
Mm-hmm.
Know you, like you, and trust you.
And see that
Believe that you have the solution to their problem, and then be ready. And that be ready part is what we have to be patient with.
Yeah.
So,
and I respect the consistency. I really do. It's certain, like Ted McGrath. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him. This man, when I tell you, I've been receiving his emails probably for a good 5-6 years consistently. And I respect it. And I look at the topics. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not ever deleting them because I'm going to go back. And, you know, I've downloaded this stuff. I bought a couple of programs or whatever. Just good information. Good information. But it's when I need it and when I want it. And I leave it there so it's available to me when I'm ready for it. So, you know, that's that entrepreneurial consistency that you just got to trust in. It's a build-up. A major build-up. You know, but so back to the asking for help.
Right.
You know, you just have to get to that point where you really can define where you need help. And then go get the help. Be uncomfortable. And be transparent about what is not working. And watch how people can help you. I have had some extreme breakthroughs this week, Natalie, when it comes to numbers and when it comes to setting up the foundation. So much so, I'm like, ooh, as much as I think I'm ready, I look and I'm like, oh, I got some more work to do. It's constant. It's never over. It's
never over. And I think, and one of my mentors told me this, like, your things to do list in business is never going to go away. Like, it's always going to be like 100 items to do. And so really learning, kind of your clarifying questions to do what you need to do for that things to do list, because it's never going to go away. It's always something to be do. Kind of like the house. I get this room fixed and decorated and up, and now the water heater broke. Okay, now we got the water system back where it needs to be. Okay, now the Porsche is falling apart. Okay, like, it's just, and so that's how a business is. Like, dang, technology changed. Now we got to upgrade this whole thing. And okay, that was running automatically. Okay, but this ain't selling anymore. Why isn't this selling? The market has changed. Okay, dang. Okay, let's figure out this and change this offering so that the market is changing and we can respond to the needs of the market over here. Okay, now we got this. Dang, our internal systems is messed up because when we did, like, it's just forever. And so being okay with that, there is no kind of I arrived in business. So celebrating all your small victories, asking for help is a victory. I want you guys to celebrate. Asking for help, and learning those small victories, how to celebrate those small victories along the way, especially as entrepreneurs, because so many hours we're working on stuff and nobody will ever see it. Nobody will ever understand that just the hours you have spent. Something, trying to do something, like, oh my God, just the hours it took. Because
which makes you equipped to help them. You know, that's why you are qualified and equipped to help these people who come to you. You know, all that work you put in, you know. So over here on Facebook, Lisa Hankins, my dear friend, she's saying, I'm ready to get into the business that's going to help me make revenue. I'm trying to find me. So what comes to mind when you hear that, Natalie?
That's two different things.
Yes, it is two different things. But I want to challenge you because I have,
Okay, what's coming to mind for you?
Well, what's coming to mind for me is you start with, you know, finding me. You know, where am I? Why am I here? What do I want? What is it that I just posted that last night? Oprah was talking and she was like, what is it that I really want? This is the perfect time to start evaluating what is it that I really want? Because now more than ever, you should be a lot closer to who you really are at this point in life, because you've been through a lot, you've had a lot of experiences, you're so qualified. You're at the point where if you don't realize you're qualified,
then we got another amount of work to do.
which is okay. At least you realize it. Now, so my thing is, okay, most people want to write a book. And absolutely everyone wants a business that will help them make revenue, right? So it's a couple of things there. As you are finding yourself, which I think we said it's a long road, it's a marathon. But as you're finding yourself, you'd be so surprising at how amazing your journey is. And I think the number one thing that people aren't doing is sharing their journeys.
Oh,
someone out there is interested in your journey. Not just someone. A lot of people are interested in your journey. You're so much more interesting than you think you are.
Yeah.
And people want to know you. They want to connect with you through your story, your journey, your experiences, your connection.
Definitely.
And people negate that.
Yeah.
So that finding you, to me, is what you should be transparent about. This is what I like. That's why I love this podcast. We get an opportunity to just really talk about transparently, where we've been, what we've been through, what we desire, what we're building and growing. And it's just very transparent. We have emotional moments, and we have ahas, and go start your podcast. Get a friend and go start a podcast, or just get on here and talk.
Good for your own self, because that desperation work we did last week was so good. It was so good, because I really sat down and was like, why do I wind up here again? How did I get here again? What am I doing? What am I believing? And it simply pointed to belief. So, and it went down back to that unworthiness. And so I testify. I'd like to testify on the power of a podcast.
For real. So I'll speak transparent, and I'm kind of having an aha as we're speaking. So for me, it's always been money. I've always had ups and downs when it came to money. And I feel like I am called to help people with money, with their money breakthroughs, and who they are and where they come from, what is it, but in a different way, in a different type of way, because I just need people to understand that, oh gosh, it's so much coming to me right now. After that conversation, I had a conversation with Dr. Tori.
I gotta check in on her.
You need to check in on Dr. Tori, because Dr. Tori dropping fire out here. And she told me something so amazing about math. She thought she wasn't good at math, right? She's good at everything else. Everything else was smooth. But when it came to math, I'm just not good at math. I'm not good at that. She said, and I think I'm just about right, Dr. Tori, somewhere in the same space of the conversation. But, a professor, I think, told her, no, it's just problem solving. You just have to become a good problem solver.
Oh, that's such a good refrain. Yeah.
Stop thinking that math is just this overwhelming thing that consumes you negatively, it's not. You just have to become a good problem solver in this space. And I was like,
that's so good.
I hear you. And those little words, and this was a conversation within a service, and we talking, and that's why I say, oh, wait. Right. When I say I didn't finish college, I didn't need to, because my tribe is so fire. My psychologist, my psychiatrist, my attorneys. Hey, I need help. And the conversations that we have on a regular, my everyday woman, my CEOs, everyone, the conversations that we have are just so valuable and so impactful. This is my education, and it's been like this for a long time.
Yes.
That's when I had to begin to realize my value and what I bring to the table. And then also, that's why I'm such an advocate for the beauty pros. I've been working so hard behind the scenes because I need them to understand that you're so much more valuable, than just behind that chair. You have so much more to offer the people, your connections, your resources, your skill set. It's just that you need someone to help you put things in a framework, in a format, so that you can. And that's all of us. But that's my space. So I know them and I know how they feel. And I know that it's hard to validate yourself outside of a certain space sometimes when you say, oh, I don't have a degree and I don't have, this, that, and the other. No, baby, you got so much. And you just need someone to help you identify it and define it.
That's true. It's so hard to see for yourself. I think you just said it was Lisa who you read her comment about she was finding herself. Okay, Elisa, I want to give you just a quick little word. Most of us, and probably you too, you're already doing what you're supposed to be doing because you can't help but do it. That's your gifting.
Yeah.
And so look at those things, what people have already been saying, girl, you always, girl, don't you whatever. Start paying attention to that because that's what you're supposed to be doing. And that's going to be your money maker with that. And then also, I think kind of know is whatever our struggle is also probably the thing that we're supposed to kind of overcome and teach others. Like Cherise, you just got finished saying, my money has been every up and down, feast to famine, feast to famine, feast to famine. And so now what you're working on is helping people be consistent with their money, have consistent, all these different ways of making money. And so that's where it is for you. So Lisa, it's probably going to be something like that for you. What do you feel like you've been struggling with that you're supposed to overcome and then turn around and help people with? It's in there. It's right in front of you and you just can't see it. And that was the same thing. I couldn't see it. When I became a therapist, when I realized I was called to be a therapist, a couple of people was just like, what, don't you do that already? And one person said, it was funny. He was like, you're my insurance agent. Y'all insurance is too high, but you kind of like my therapist too. And so therefore I'm okay paying y'all high insurance.
Make it worth it, right?
Right. And so it just, I couldn't hear it then because I wasn't looking for it. I was like, you're so funny, da, da, da. And then one day I was like, oh my God, I'm supposed to be a therapist. And then I remember hearing all the people who had been joking over the years, like, okay, you're my therapist. Oh, you kind of like my therapist. Da, 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 da. And it came for, so Lisa, look, your life will tell you now just start looking for it, and your life is going to be telling you exactly what you're supposed to be doing. It's already there.
It's very, very clear. It's nothing new. You've already been doing it. It's what
you've already been doing.
And that's why I say, help you to get clear about who you are, what you do, how you do it, who you do it for, because you've already been doing it.
Yeah.
It's like now, getting it packaged up and putting it in the right type of offer.
Selling it to the right people, learning who your people are, all of that.
Exactly.
I'm so excited for you, Lisa. I'm so excited.
I know. Yeah, make sure you send me what you have. I'm excited to see it. And so it's just so much. But I want you to be bold about asking for help.
Yeah.
So sometimes we do get in pickles. Sometimes they're bigger than pickles. But ask for help, and ask for help early on. Like, hey, I'm dealing with this situation. I don't want it to get out of hand.
Yeah.
Can you help me? I'm a pro at that because I was the queen of letting stuff get out of hand and then needing. That's why I always say I don't ask for no help. But by the time I do ask for help, I need help. That's stressful.
I'm going to challenge everybody to ask for help over the next 30 days. It's July 2nd. So if we start today, that'll be a full 30 days ending on July 31st. So I'm going to challenge everybody to ask for help. Ask for help one time a day for the next 30 days.
Okay, let's do it. I'm going to put it out there.
I don't care. Help me get this off the shelf. Help me do this. Help me think about this. Everybody, we on a 30-day challenge of asking for help. Because it's a skill you have to build. All right. I want to say this part. After you ask for help, you've got to say thank you. You've got to say thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say I've actually learned a specific way to say thank you. But just make sure it's a heartfelt thank you. I don't have enough time to go into like how you say thank you, and I don't know if I remember everything, but make sure you tell them thank you. Like, thank you. This, and if you can give a little explanation, thank you so much for doing that for me because blah 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 blah. Thank you for so much for doing this, or I really appreciate that. Da, 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 da. Just really make sure you're saying thank you after you ask for help. Like that was so nice and kind of you for just holding the door open for me. It's restored my faith in humanity. It just whatever you want to say, but making sure you say thank you. That's a huge part of asking for help, is making sure you say thankful and you really appreciate it. And so I'm excited because I'm excited for you guys to see how many people out there are willing to help you. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And one other thing, Lisa says help is a cost. And it's two ways to look at that. Of course it is. There is a cost that comes with everything, but it's like, what are you willing to give for the help? And then what are you willing to just open up your mind and say, okay, yeah, it may be just old thinking when you say help is a cost, maybe because of your old experiences, but it's a new day.
Ooh, yeah.
It's a new day and you should have new energy around you. It's just like you were saying earlier with the comment Tiana said, like we're gonna, kind of, maybe exchange the friends out, maybe, get a new group or, but how about maybe the way that you ask, new energy, so I'm in a space where I'm just thinking about everything differently. Do something different. Everything that you think of, stop and think about it. Am I thinking about it with my old mindset, or am I thinking about it with a new mindset?
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Which means we need to be sitting down and looking at our mindsets. Like, what am I thinking? What am I thinking about this thing? Yeah. Why am
and
I
would say one last thing and we're done. I want you to be clear about this and do some homework. But if you have in your mind something that is made up, right? Oh, I want this. I'm going to go get this. I want this, that, and the other. And you think you have made it up your mind. This has to do with belief. And you think you believe that something is yours, is going to happen, blah, blah, blah. But if your subconscious doesn't believe with you, and I know this is deep. This is why you got to go do that deep work. If your subconscious doesn't match up and believe, it's not going to happen.
You're right.
That's called reprogramming. That's what I'm talking about when I say.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No, that was good.
Is your old thinking matching what you really want? Does your subconscious support what you really, truly want?
And I think you have to look at your life and say, and y'all, this is hard. And even as she's saying, I'm like, God dog it. This is a hard pill to swallow. But looking at your life and what do you have and what do you not have? And if you take that on to say, my thinking has created my life. It has created my life. So apparently I can see what I'm thinking, and I'm thinking the wrong things if I don't have what I want.
Yep.
And so let me sit down and think what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
In the last 2 minutes we have, I want to go back and say, I was just working with a client and we were talking about what they wanted. And they were like, well, I don't know. And then we went deeper on why they didn't know. And what it came to is they were really scared to ask for what they really wanted. They knew, they were just scared to ask what they really wanted because there was a belief that they couldn't have what they really wanted. But then we went down the list and it wasn't nothing crazy. You ain't asking to find $1 million in your backyard. It was nothing crazy at all. And so really look at yourself and what you're believing and what you're thinking. And you may just have to sit there a while to really realize, man, I didn't realize I was thinking that this was something I couldn't have. So therefore I was scared to own it. Therefore I just kept coming up with, I don't know.
Yeah.
So you just gotta, figure it out. Oh.
And I know we gotta go. But yeah, I was scared to own my numbers.
Mm.
She sent me a spreadsheet.
Mm-hmm.
I was scared to look at the spreadsheet. I finally opened it up.
Yeah.
I started filling in the numbers in the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, dang, okay, all right, okay, and kept filling in the numbers in the spreadsheet. And it became more real. I'm like, oh, wow. So once I finished my expenses, you know, the revenue, the business, the personal expenses, the revenue, then I was able to just process. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's not as bad as I thought it was. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So then my projection came so real, Natalie.
Ooh.
And when I assigned numbers to, you know, my framework, my projects, my events, you know, my clients, you know, just the different lanes.
Yeah.
I believed it.
I feel like so many people struggle with numbers. Like I can name 2-3 people in my life right now who literally right now are struggling with the numbers. I think I need to do a workshop on that.
Yeah,
a numbers workshop. Okay, everybody who's out there listening on the sound of my voice, if you would be interested in us doing like a half-day workshop on numbers, getting comfortable with your numbers, just you, the numbers freak you out. Hit me up on LinkedIn. Just DM me on LinkedIn. Hey, I would be interested in that workshop. And so if I have enough people interested in that workshop, then we'll definitely do it. So
we can move on that fast.
Yeah. I'll do that. So let's say, yeah, I could do that in the next 6 weeks. Let me get over summer vacation. Okay, we weren't gonna be here next week because I'm gonna be on summer vacation.
Right. I want to say one more thing.
Okay, go ahead.
And we out. But mindset, you over here talking about, oh, I can do that in the next 6 weeks. And I'm like, oh, we can do that in about 2 weeks.
That's so funny.
Mindset. This is how the difference of how people think. That's hilarious to me. And when people say that, I'm like, why would you wait that long? You can do that.
Because I've been thinking in my head, like, okay, I gotta get off. I gotta do summer vacation. That's 2 weeks. I'm just out for the next 2 weeks. Then when I come back, I gotta get my Meritopreneur up and running. So that's gonna take me probably about 2 weeks. And then so somewhere in there, I would need to write the workshop, set the workshop up, figure that out, and then we need to market it. And they always say you need 2 months to market stuff to get it out there. But I was like, I could probably get it done in 6 weeks. So my mind is like, this got to be done, and this got to be done, and this got to be done, and this got to be done. Like we eventually put it on the list. So,
I know. You're right. You are absolutely right, Natalie. I'm just telling you how I think and how I would get myself in trouble. Like, I want to do it now. And that's what we're going through right now. Like, no, Cherise, you can do things fast with speed, which you're good at when you get a real foundation. So that's why right now we're really building out my foundation so that when I want to do a pop-up, the pop-up can be effective. And there's a system, right? It's a system on how we roll it out. And that's been my thorn in my side. I've had no real systems, especially coming out of the salon, you know, and doing the coaching thing. My systems were crap.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay. All right. You guys, back to the 30-day challenge that I put out there all haphazardly.
Yeah, we doing it starting today.
We do it starting today. Definitely. And so I will come up with all these different ways, and y'all can ask for help. And so this is exciting. All right. So today, I don't have a way in which you can ask for help, but it'll come up for you. The universe is going to give you a way to ask for help. And then I'll get more strategic about how you're going to ask for help over the next 30 days. So yeah. Okay. All right. I gotta run because I haven't eaten breakfast. All right.
I'm gonna jump on live on Facebook too. I haven't been live on there in a while, so I'm like,
okay, cool. All right.
Have a good one.
All right. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yes. Okay.
All right. Bye.